Welcome to the webinar for Ezzpedition 2026. Before we start, and before we explain the Ezzpedition, ask yourself a question. What is your life about? If your life is about Excel spreadsheets, Ezzpedition 2026, not for you. Now, let's keep going. What's the point? Where did all this come from? Ezzpedition 2026, in essence, got its origins with the foodie field trip that we did last year, in which yours truly took a bunch of members to see where to buy yogurt. What I discovered on that trip, hadn't been really sensitive to it before, is that there are gaps in knowledge. And I think to some extent those gaps result from the fact that we've been relying on book learning, articles, guests, and so on. We've been telling each other about data. We've been telling each other about history and politics, but we haven't lived them. So the whole idea behind Ezzpedition 2026 is to get us beyond just book learning and to allow us to actually immerse ourselves in ways that will allow us to learn in ways that we can't do by just telling. So the idea is to get immersed in the natural world and learn about circadian biology, physical fitness, nutrition, and everything else that we need to learn if we are to be functionally supreme. So we are heading deep to the west of Texas, not deep in the heart of Texas, deep in the west of Texas. We are going to a place called Tilimga, that is our base of operations, which is located pretty close to the Rio Grande. We'll be in the Chihuahuan Desert, and we will be on the Rio Grande. Tilimga, I've always wanted to go there, actually. I've heard about it a lot of my life, not all my life. It's known principally for its annual chili cook-off. We're talking about a town of 180 people, dive bars, curious locals, chili, of course, dusty, quirky, unforgettable vibe, and, interestingly, this is a dark skies town. The locals do everything possible to minimize the light to which they expose themselves and anybody who is visiting. What that means is you can actually see the stars at night. We'll also be heading into the Chihuahuan Desert through Big Bend Ranch State Park, one of the largest and least visited parks in Texas, and in fact in the United States. We'll be going through ancient volcanic landscape, millions of years in the making, a home to hundreds of bird species and different animals, including desert bighorns. And then the last 2 days, and I'll show you in a minute, we will be on the Rio Grande, the river that separates the U.S. from Mexico. First up, 3 days, Chihuahuan Desert. We will be backpacking through a land where very few have ever gone. This is a very quiet landscape. You'll have a chance to hear what peace actually sounds like. We will move as one. We won't be a lot of people. We'll be maybe 10, something like that. We'll move like a small band of pre-industrial people through the landscape, and we will align our rhythm to that of the desert. We will rely on endurance. We will walk slowly. This is not a hard trip. The idea here is to get to where we're going as a group. So that's part one. That's 3 days, Chihuahuan Desert. The fourth and the fifth days of this 5-day trip will have us canoeing on the Rio Grande. Majestic, Cretaceous limestone cliffs towering above us to a height of 1,500 feet. Hundreds of species of birds along the riparian environment. Fossils embedded into the limestone cliff, turtles and fish, and so on. An incredible place. Given the time of year that we're going, there's a very good chance that we will be the only people traveling through a land that time has forgotten. Practicalities. Here's our itinerary. Arriving Monday, November 9th. Meeting at the Midland Airport, budget rent-a-car, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. I'm renting a passenger van. We'll all load up the van, drive deep into the West Texas together. It's a fairly long drive. It's about 4 hours, something like that. We'd be arriving fairly late in the day. And so we are scheduled to stop at the iconic Riata in Alpine. If you think Alpine sounds familiar to you, it's probably because at one point we looked at the effect of where you live in your time zone, and its relationship to social jet lag as relates to cancer incidence. We used Alpine at the western side of the central time zone, contrasted with Nashville on the eastern side. So that's why Alpine sounds familiar to you. As for Riata, it's named after an iconic ranch, a West Texas ranch, the Riata, in which the story of Giant, which featured Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson, and James Dean, where that story took place. Okay, so that is the first day. We'll arrive at Terlingua, population 180, and very cool, we're going to be sleeping in luxury teepees. So just like the Apache, just like the Comanche, except our teepees are a little bit nicer. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, backpacking. We head on foot into Big Bend Ranch State Park, volcanic ridges, canyon trails, petroglyphs, flora, fauna. We carry our gear and our food with us, with guides to lead the way. Friday, Saturday, we canoe the Rio Grande through a place called Santa Elena Canyon, 1,500-foot limestone cliffs, wildlife, canyon light. The canoes will carry our food and the gear, so it's light, and the guides, again, will lead the way. The trip ends on Saturday night, in essence. The backpacking and the canoeing ends on Saturday night. We'll celebrate bittersweet departures in Terlingua. We're going to go to the Starlight, Terlingua's finest dining establishment, featuring, I'm excited, chicken fried antelope. That's an original. And then on Saturday, we'll pack up our stuff, get to the airport, and head home. The trip is arranged as a very convenient, comprehensive package. It includes transportation from Midland to and from Terlingua, dinner on arrival, Riata in Alpine, 2 nights luxury teepees. You can get a sense of what those teepees look like over here on the right. 5 days wilderness, all food provided, expert wilderness guides throughout, canoes, paddling gear, backpacking gear, fireside lessons, unimpeded views of the Milky Way, and of course the celebration with the locals. My recommendation, it's up to you, this is not included, is pick up a book. There's so much to learn. There's so much to learn about the local ecology, the botany, the geology, the zoology. Here's a book as an example about the Tarahumara, a people who are known for their very long-distance running events. You runners in particular, I think, would gain a lot by picking up a book like this, but of course there are many subjects. It's up to you. I have always coupled reading to my travels. I find it's immensely helpful, and it deepens the experience. And if you do pick up a book and you do learn about something related to our trip, it'd be great if you could share what you learned with the rest of us. We are in this together. Don't be afraid. You're not alone. Call me. If you have any questions at all, you have my WhatsApp number, my email, and you can use this Calendly link, calendly.com/EzLive, to book a meeting one-on-one, and I'll walk you through all your questions and your fears and logistics together. So there you have it. We are ready to go. We're leaving November 9th. Claim your spot. Here is a link that will take you to registration and payment. And that's our story. Ezzpedition 2026. It's our inaugural Ezzpedition. I think it's going to be phenomenal, and I hope to see you there. Thank you.